Hello, Megan.
I'm Matt.
And you're watching The Night Owl. All right, so we're checking. I'm always going to keep checking because, that one time when our audio didn't work. All right, we're live. Let's make sure that audio works. We're good. Hello, everybody. Happy Friday.
It's Friday.
It's finally Friday, and we're filming on a Friday.
It's a Friday.
I had to charge the camera, so apologies. I myself have been sick with the flu. No, it was not COVID, guys. Thank God. I still felt like a trash panda, though. I felt like shit for over a week. And before that, I had to visit the dentist. So I've been on hiatus for over 2 weeks.
Which
means he's been on hiatus as well.
Which means I've been on hiatus because I'm not the one to do this.
He doesn't do this alone. No.
The talent, the real talent.
I only did it one time alone, and that was fine.
Yeah, so the engineer, the super talent has been on injured reserve.
The boss bitch is back. The boss bitch is back.
She's off injured reserve. We're at maybe 70-80% health here, right?
About 80%. Still got a little glandular thing going on,
but to come back and enough
to get it cracking. We wanted to tell you guys we're so happy that you guys are with us. I think we came to about our 30th episode for our podcast, our audio podcast. So we're reaching the 4th season of our podcast. The reason why we have 4 seasons, or going to have 4 seasons, is because when we first started recording our actual audio podcast, we did it 4 days a week because of the quarantine, right? And then once Matthew went back to work, once I kind of started to get back into my my new pattern of doing things, new hobbies, new gigs. We did 1 day a week, and now we're doing the filming. So every other week is when we do our audio. So we're still going to be pushing into the 4th season, which is great. But it's just so funny because seasons usually for podcasts can be up to like 30 episodes or 20 episodes. It's not like a movie or TV where you have a season where it's a whole year for the whole season, right? For podcasts, it's however many episodes you have.
Exactly. It's not the what's on TV and
it's not like a whole year. Sometimes it doesn't take a whole year to get one season of a podcast done. And also new developments. I did put the newest episodes up until I think this past March on subscription only. So sorry guys, on Anchor you have to pay 99 cents a month. I put it at 99 cents a month because it's the cheapest. I don't want to rob you guys, but we have to start making a little more money with this podcast. So I think up until this past March, up until this last episode, I have everything is subscription only. So if you want to listen to us for free, we are still on Spotify. I think you still have to pay to be on Spotify to have a profile and a subscription. But other than that, you can go on our Anchor podcast website and support us. You can still send us some money. You can send us voice messages. But yeah, you guys, it's getting to that point now. I have to start charging you. So I'm sorry, but you can still listen to us on Apple. You can listen to us on Spotify and any other place that you listen to podcasts for free. But for Anchor, you got to pay. So I'm sorry, nestlings. I'm sorry. We love you. And if you are new, I'm Megan.
We love our nestlings. She's Megan. I'm Matt.
And this is the Night Owl of Chicago, an all-inclusive podcast that talks about music, art, and life, and everything in between. All right. So now that we've gotten that out of the way, how are you doing, Matthew?
I'm doing all right. I'm glad you're doing well here.
Yes.
Getting back into the swing of things. It feels like it's been a minute or two since we've been at this, and
feels like too long.
Too long here, and things have happened, and things keep moving, and the world keeps spinning, and the sands of time keep going. So
what do you have today to share?
I thought kind of more updates since our last time. I think since one we were present and viewer present, and one since we were audio present. I think kind of things that I had updated were things that are currently in the news. I think we did an episode or two or a couple things on right. The missing persons case of Gabby Petito, who eventually was found again deceased, and now here as an update, you were just asking here.
Yeah, we were talking about that.
So I confirmed via Embassy News and I think a few other outlets here, right? Yeah. That the FBI has confirmed that some missing remain, or I guess they're not missing, right? They found them, right?
They said that they're human remains.
Human remains that they have.
And his backpack.
And a backpack that they found in the Carlton Reserve, which is not too far from apparently where the Laundrie's resident is. I feel like they spent all this time looking like all over in like several states, and he was just right there the whole time. Well, they confirmed that they are indeed.
Like he just never left.
Brian.
Yeah. So we don't. And remember what I said before? I said if he kills himself, we're not going to really know. But I guess now they have a notebook of his, so maybe they're trying to see if that's a last ditch effort of how maybe he was feeling during those times, if he was journaling any of his emotions or his time or whatever they were doing, activities, because like I told you, he was doing most of the driving, right? It was her band, but he was doing most of the driving. He was going he was trying to go on his schedule. Time will tell whether or not the materials that they found, his belongings that they found, will be able to provide more insight into exactly just what happened. And I think that's kind of the fear or some of the issues with the fact that discovering the fact that he's no longer with us is the fact that there are so many questions left unanswered, and we will see that if what they found, we'll be able to provide those answers. But I thought since, we spent just a little bit of time kind of discussing that, I think we did a couple of things on it. One, the fact that, it brought a lot of attention. I think it shed a lot of light on a lot of other missing persons cases. So I think there was, if you want to find silver lining in some of that, I think that is one of those silver linings, is that it did shed the light on other missing persons cases that did result in, I think successful cold
some information moving forward. Yeah, cold cases.
Yeah, which is good because, no one likes a cold case and everyone loves to crack them open and see if they can solve them.
No, it's interesting where they found him apparently had been under a lot of water. Matter of fact, it had not been open to the public here for a couple of weeks, and only recently, as of I think Tuesday or Wednesday, it had been open to the public because the water had receded to a point that allowed for that. So,
yeah, and they were saying that in the area there's like lots of animals that are.
Yeah, that's exactly what law enforcement was stating here recently on when they did kind of their media announcement here, was things like that. There's gators, there's snakes, that kind of thing. So we will see exactly what the coroner finds as far as cause of death, to see if they can
I just think it's so sad. Like I really wish that we knew.
It is a very if you want to say anticlimactic end. Because
at least we know how she died.
Ultimately in the end here, right, two families have lost
their
family
children,
members, and that's sad.
I don't really care that he's dead, but I care that there's no justice. That they're both these spirits just wandering around.
Maybe anticlimactic is the wrong word as far as what I'm feeling.
There's no real closure.
It does feel like there's at this point in time, no real closure, no real justice.
Yeah.
Even though it appears that potentially here and allegedly here, right, maybe that the first person that was discovered deceased, that the person that is second discovered deceased was the reason for that person, but we will see.
It's just a coward's way out. It's all. If you kill yourself, it's just, I don't know. It's just a coward's way out. He had all this time to come back and lawyer the fuck up still and speak his truth, and whether he was attacked and died. It's one thing, like if there's animals. They said he was good at camping, but like anyone could get a spider bite or something like that and get infected and then just die from that. Or it's Florida. There's so much shit there that you don't know what's there that can kill you.
Who wants to speculate? who wants to know if that's what he went out
But if
there
he-
to do? Was
but if they killed himself, then that's a sign of guilt, which means that he kills her.
now, because this is what this is, right? If you want to write a story, if you really want to go off there and speculate, and I will admit, because my mind is a bit crazy and things go that way, and I do not. I'll be honest. I don't really think this is the case.
Hold on.
But
Hold on a second. Let me see. Use this video. All right, our camera's exhausted, so sorry guys, we're moving over here. Sorry guys. All right.
Well.
Okay.
I
right,
said
we're
if you
good.
really want to go off the deep rails and do something very fictional, how about this? And I won't use his name. How about this? So your two parents, you're a mom and a dad, you find out that, maybe you have one child, maybe you have multiple children, right? One of these children is an adult and they're dating an adult person, right? Children. Now you find out that one of these adult children has potentially ended the life of somebody. And now you take it upon yourself to end their life.
I don't think that I don't know what you think about his parents being killers.
I mean, to be honest, if this was a Bible story, would that not be how a Bible story would end?
Like Lori, like you're trying to think of like Lori, what's her face? That killed their kids because they thought they were zombies. Lori Vallow.
Oh, that's the Idaho.
They did do that. They did do that because she was like, the guy that she had met was like this spiritual guy who like believed in aliens and believed in all this other shit, kind of like the Stargate cult, kind of like them. And she believed that her kids were infected or they were zombies or something. And they had been dead the entire time that we were looking. That again, law enforcement was looking for them everywhere. They basically killed other people in their family, like before that, and then got together, and then they got married after they killed their kids. That was when they ended up in Hawaii because she had a house in Hawaii, right? So Lori Vallow, I mean, it could. I don't think it's that situation. I just think that
stay safe.
I think what happened is that the parents either knew or didn't know, helped him, or they either did know and helped him, they didn't know but still helped him because they loved him, or he just like lied to everyone.
Well, what is currently being reported out of the reported news stories that I read, right? The interview with the father was he knew Brian was very distraught when he went off on that trip to the reserve. He looked very distraught, and the comment from the father is, I wish I had gone with him. I wish I had stopped him. I wish, a lot of things.
Yeah.
Again,
I don't think that they knew everything.
In the end, there are two sets of parents that have lost their children. And I would never, again.
I mean, you got to feel bad for them. I do
Yes.
feel bad for his parents. I just don't feel bad for Brian.
That is I would say, one of parents' many nightmares.
And
but
then-
that is one of them.
And then there are parents that simply deny that their children are monsters, or they accept that they're monsters and they love them anyway. You know what I mean? Like no matter what, they love them.
It's a complicated
And
world.
I feel like Matthew, like one of the few reasons why I wouldn't have children is because like you'd be that like unconditional love. I would just be like, you killed someone, you're not my kid anymore. Like I just wouldn't. I'd be like, you're, especially if it was my fault, like I did something wrong to them that like made them that way.
And
but I feel like my love would be conditional if it had to do with
not
something
to
like that.
simplify things, but
If they robbed a bank, whatever.
I think there are two.
You need money.
If you want to really simplify things and oversimplify things and put things in just two buckets, there are two kinds of parents, exactly, right?
Mm-hmm.
There are the parents that will turn their children in, and there are the parents that will absolutely do
disown them,
everything in the world to make sure to save them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So like, and then there's parents that are just like, no, I don't know that person. So I don't know. There's a certain degree where I would just be like, I don't know if I should. Like Casey Anthony, like for instance, for her parents are nutbags. Her parents are nutbags. And she has manipulated her parents her whole life. Like lied, manipulated. She's a daddy's girl. She and her mom competed a lot. They fought a lot for like the affection of her father. But she and her mother, I'm pretty sure her mother knew something happened, but she didn't. She was supportive of her. Her dad completely loved her. Like he still talked to her like she was 5 years old. It was so gross.
Our families are just the idea that there's a normal. That's what's weird. Families are weird.
I mean, if we're gonna go to that, yeah, families are strange. Like
all families are just weird.
Especially when you have cousins, like or your parents remarry and then like that person's not your blood relative and like they're your step sibling or brother or step whatever. Yeah, families are weird. Okay, so I want to talk about, I have a topic that I thought was kind of interesting. Okay, so you love Neil deGrasse Tyson. He's your dude, right? Matthew loves Neil deGrasse Tyson. He loves him. He's his dude.
Yeah, we like smart people.
So you guys all know who Demi Lovato is. Demi Lovato has been the bane of everyone's existence for the past 2 years since she had been sober.
Very talented singer.
But she has gone off the deep end because, when she went into that yogurt shop, she told them that their labeling was wrong and that they were like triggering her and that, because she has an eating disorder and blah, 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 and that they weren't doing their job. And then people were really mad at her because she was like shitting all over this small business because they didn't have things that made her feel comfortable in the store. It wasn't like legit things that she has no idea what she was talking about. And then she started hanging out with this person who claims to be trans, but was really someone who is a predator of children. Like they write these really weird lyrics about kids saying that they're kinky and they're sexy and stuff. And this was a musician that was hanging out with Demi Lovato. So after Demi Lovato started hanging out with this person, she came out as non-binary. And then she came out as trans. And then she went back to non-binary. So it's like, then she started dressing very strange. And she just changed her hair to like a Joe Dirt haircut. And it's just, I don't know what's wrong with her. I don't know what's going on with her.
Your own person, do whatever.
Do whatever, but it's just not, she's all over the place. She's not sticking with one, like it's not like she's blossoming into something. It's just like, I'm this, I'm that, I'm this, I'm that. There's no like, I've seen recent photos and heard recent music of Miley Cyrus. Like she's blossoming into something new. Selena Gomez is on TV now. She's on a new TV show. Like people are blossoming into new things and they're doing new things, but Demi Lovato's not doing that. She's just being strange and being weird and not really, I don't know. There's a picture of her and Paris Hilton.
Well, we don't know. And it's how the media is portraying.
No. Demi Lovato does live streams every day.
Oh,
she does live streams. Yeah, this is not how the media is portraying her. This is how she's portraying her.
You put yourself on the internet. You put yourself out there.
There's a recent photo of her and Paris Hilton going shopping for like Halloween costumes, which I didn't know Paris Hilton hung out with Demi Lovato.
All right. Well,
but maybe she's giving her a makeover. I don't know. Maybe Paris is like her because they showed Demi Lovato
business tips. I don't know.
Demi Lovato's gained a lot of weight, so she's kind of doesn't really know what to wear, and that's fine. That happens with every woman. I've gained weight where I'm like nothing fits me. But anyway,
tips, business tips. Paris would be good for some of these. Yeah.
She offended Neil deGrasse Tyson, which you do not offend Neil deGrasse Tyson. Okay, he does not get offended very easily, but you don't do that. He's a great guy. He's usually a pretty
thanks to the
neutral guy.
He is in the news sometimes. Yes.
So it says Neil deGrasse Tyson thinks that Demi Lovato needs a reality check because her belief that using the term aliens is derogatory doesn't make any sense for many amusing reasons in his eyes. The famed astrophysicist seems just as befuddled as almost everyone else over Demi's stance against calling otherworldly beings aliens. Demi prefers to say ETs. And even more so, he thinks Demi Lovato is being very presumptuous. For starters, Tyson points out humans haven't really had any interactions with space aliens.
Here's the thing,
so
right?
how the heck do we know what they're thinking or feeling?
hope-
Do they even feel?
For Neil, right? A portion of his
It's
tongue
true, though. It
is
is true.
inserted somewhere inside his cheek.
No.
Yes.
Also, Tyson wonders how Debbie knows aliens would be offended by the term unless there's a Rosetta Stone for English on the mothership.
Well, didn't we comment on this earlier that, right, or that somebody had posted or that you have seen things, right, that if you were to be abducted, right, or to go to, say, unquote, unquote, an alien universe,
we're
or planet,
ETs. To some
right,
other alien, we're ETs.
you wouldn't want to go to their doctor. You probably want to go to their veterinarian because you're more closely to some weird animal on an alien planet than you would be to those species
I
that are
went to
living
go to
there.
a regular doctor. I mean, E.T. went to the scientist, in the movie. He went to he didn't even, he skipped the doctors, went right to the scientists, I mean, so it says Neil acknowledges Demi is being considerate, to a fault perhaps. And while he totally supports not calling human beings aliens,
That is where I would have gone.
he's
with
missing
this.
Demi's point. For once, we're on the same level. Someone as brilliant as Neil. Feels good. If you missed it, Demi made their controversial thoughts known during an interview promoting their new Peacock special called Unidentified,
Bum, bum,
which
bum.
is about her sexuality.
Mm.
Saying, I think we need to stop calling them aliens because aliens is a derogatory term for everything, for anything. Yeah. So that Demi, who came out as non-binary earlier this year and uses pronouns they and them, seems to be hypersensitive about words offending beings from all galaxies and froyo shops. Oh, we're not going to let her live that one down. That's TMZ for you, though. They're very kitschy. They're tongue-in-cheek when they talk about people.
How do we know?
We don't know, but I understand when it's about people from a different country. That's fucking stupid. Don't call them aliens.
Oh, I would agree. I've never.
They're
agreed with that
human,
term.
like
Human.
you.
We're humans.
Yeah.
We're all humans.
We're all humans. So this next one I want to talk about is the COVID vaccine for kids. They're doing COVID vaccine for children's 5 to 11.
It's coming rapidly.
They said it's 91% effective, so we're almost there, right? Almost there.
Oh, a lot has happened. So it's children now, right here that can get it. It's
Yeah,
on the verge of
because we have the
mixing and
variant, right?
matching. It's booster shot time apparently very close to, if you had Pfizer or Moderna or the Johnson, that you could probably mix and match those if you're going for a booster shot. Johnson here, the Johnson & Johnson shot just recently came out and stated that they've approved for a booster shot that will increase their efficacy, and again, I think up to 94%.
That's what they're saying in here. And then the efficacy portion of the trial, 1,305 kids without prior evidence of COVID received 2 shots, while 663 got placebo injections. Among those who got the vaccine, there were 3 cases of symptomatic COVID starting a week after the second shot, compared with the 16 cases in the placebo group. Symptoms were milder in the cases that occurred among vaccinated kids, and none developed fevers, according to the document. And it says that they said they released new safety data. I think they still have to go through the FDA. The FDA still, it has to agree and give them clearance on it. I think it has to be more than 91%, right? I mean, it's got to be 99%.
No.
Or does it matter?
No, just got to pass the test there and pass again there.
It says it could be available in the beginning of November. So in November, could be starting out soon.
5 to 11, that would be great.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Because LA was doing high school vaccinations. They were doing high school vaccinations. They were the first state in the country to do that.
Well, I mean, and as the news kind of goes, there are companies out there that are mandating it. There are some, it's still not a federal mandate. There are some states out there that have tried to pass, I think, legislation to go against it, which doesn't make sense. There are some countries that are headed back into lockdown, I think, like Russia and a few others, because of what they're seeing in spikes. So, no, really, this is good news for kids, good news for us.
Yeah, I mean, I think we should get our boosters
especially
too.
when we're, as a country, I think, sitting at about 50% as far as those that have been vaccinated. Matter of fact, I thought I had heard on the news here recently that the rate of those getting booster shots is higher than those actually getting their first shot, which is not necessarily good.
Yeah, that's not good. Do you have anything else you want to share? I have one last story.
Oh, what do you got?
All right, so this is by, let's see, what is this called? Oh, VT. Let me see if I can find it here. This is kind of a funny story. I mean, it's funny, but it's kind of weird, and it reminds me of like when I went to the Grand Canyon when I was 11. I went on my golden birthday in April, which was really fun. So I remember how vast it is, how big it is. I mean, it's one of the big
natural wonders
of
the world.
Yeah, well, not the world. Is it the world?
In the world.
Is it? So this says a tourist who hit a baseball into the Grand Canyon is now in contact with park officials. Someone hit a baseball into the Grand Canyon.
Littering. Technically, that would be littering.
It says park officials are in contact with a tourist who hit a baseball into the Grand Canyon. The Grand Canyon, similar to many other national parks, has rules and regulations in order to prevent any harm done to the environment and wildlife in the area. However, one particular male tourist seen on October 17th hitting baseballs into the Grand Canyon near Yavapai Geology Museum. Spokespeople for the national park revealed in Facebook post earlier this week. In order to help the U.S. park rangers of the Grand Canyon National Park locate the man, officials reached out to the public for tips. Park personnel are now in contact with the individual involved in the incident, however, did not provide any additional details. Quote, park personnel are in contact with the individual, park ranger said in the above Facebook post. Though no further details are available at this time, we sincerely thank all who submitted tips. Throwing objects into the Grand Canyon could pose a danger to the wildlife, hikers, and National Park Service said. Never throw rocks, coins, trash, or anything else over the edge, they added. Objects tossed over the edge or dislodged by walking off trail can injure hikers and wildlife below or start landslides. As we spend time outdoors in the natural world in the wilderness, it's important to be conscious of the effects our actions may have on plants, animals, other people, and even an entire ecosystem, they continued. No, you think? Visitors at the park should never have any trash or other items behind. I never leave any trash or other items behind. They are also advised not to build structures or take rocks or plants with them when they leave the park. Those who violate park rules and regulations can be faced with fines or even imprisonment, depending on the severity of the case.
This is very common in.
Remember that kid that was like painting on the rock?
This is very common in national parks and state parks, right? It's not only to protect you, the person,
don't fuck up the landscape,
also to protect what you are watching.
It's like the ripple effect. Everything you do affects everything else around you.
I hope they catch this person and they make this person go find every single one of those. And if he fails to,
I think what they should do is put him in.
Go Squid Game on.
I think they should put him in. I think they should put him in the batting cages and just hit him with balls all day and see how it feels.
Well, I think that's what should happen then if you can't find him. Yeah.
Like that little, like the girl that like does the green light, red light, and then she shoots him.
I think that he should be forced for every one that he has hit to go find every single one of them. And if he cannot,
oh my God,
then that's exactly what will happen.
They just let all the animals stampede him. That's what they should do.
That person.
It says footage of the incident was originally posted on TikTok by a user who goes by the handle Disciple Cheeks. Following media attention surrounding the incident, the video has since been made private. No, I did not know this guy. I was just a bystander, obviously. But I mean, really, that's, yeah. I mean, I remember there were like, I think it was even before TikTok came out. It was when there were still like Instagram influencers that was like still a thing. I think there were these group of kids that went to Yosemite or like somewhere where they painted on a rock. And then it was cool looking, but it wasn't, they didn't need to do that. They basically defaced this rock that was part of this monument. It was part of this, national park. And it was just, they had to pay like a huge fine for it. And they had the gall to like take photos and post it. It was like, you guys are so dumb. Like, this is not the city streets where you can just tag stuff,
I told you about my incident as a young boy growing up. What happened in Starved Rock. I was an idiot, like probably just very much so like that.
What, you painted stuff? Spray painted?
Throwing paper airplanes over a bridge in Starved Rock.
It's paper airplanes.
And then we tried to throw a big rock over a bridge.
Oh, that's stupid. Paper just is
Well, it was littering.
It's paper though. It does not.
I mean, we were accosted by a total stranger.
It breaks down. I mean, it's one thing if you're going to Starved Rock and climbing those canyons, you're not supposed to do that. And I see people do that all the time. People either get injured or they're just fucking up the landscape. Yeah. It's so bad. Like, yeah. So that's all I have. Is that all you have tonight?
I think that's a good one to end on. I like that.
All right. No. And the fact that like we're using a regular camera, I'm sorry, guys. I was not prepared.
Oh.
I was in bed for too long. That's what happens. But we want to tell you guys that we love you so much. We want you to email us, thenightowlchicago@gmail.com. Email us your stories, your tips, what you want us to talk about. Be sure to check us out on Spotify and anywhere else that you get podcasts, at least for the audio version of the Night Owl. And we do that every other week. And yeah, so tune in for, I think we're going to do our audio recording this Sunday because Saturday we have an event to go to. So we will post a recorded audio for Sunday, and I'll post it, I think, next week. But the latest episode is available on iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and our Anchor website. So we want to tell you guys that we love you so much, and we want you to stay safe. Get your booster shot and wear a goddamn mask. I'm Megan.
I'm Matt.
And you're watching The Night Owl.